Hello folks, good morning from Dhaka, Bangladesh. Welcome back to the channel. Time check, 3 a.m. here in Dhaka. I'm doing a couple of videos for you. Earlier, last night, not earlier, last night sort of I did upload a video, which I did shoot in one of the shops. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Some new fragrances from Star World. So today I thought I would like to skip the list. Maybe tomorrow I'll do one more list. I have few on mine, but I have a couple of individual reviews. I hope you would enjoy these. The first one I want to go, it's a sample review, okay? And it's a very, I don't know if it's a niche or indie, it's Rogue Perfumery. And this house, I was fortunate enough to review, I think maybe 3, 4, 5, I don't remember. But so I think there's Mousse Illuminati or something, I forgot them in the names, but they were very bold fragrances, okay? And I, on most part, had the full bottles from my friend, mostly Avik Bhai, and he would give me the bottles and I would review them. I remember particularly Rogue Perfumery is a house. They have they follow basically their own pattern, and they don't have any restriction, on them, because maybe they are outside the restriction. So they can use things like oak moss, and they can make chypras. They can make you know real natural sort of fragrances which are extremely power packed, right? So I personally am not very big wearer. I'm not saying I'm not a big fan. I'm a big fan of this house, but I personally find them to be very, like our country is not appropriate. But anyway, the fragrance I have for you is a sample. It's a very beautiful colored juice. This fragrance is called Rogue Perfumery. Let's see if I can read it from, because my glasses are all my eyesight. Absolue de, I think, Mousse. Okay, I think if I'm saying that wrong, I'll write it down, on the what you call the title. So this was sent by Fragrance BD to me when I purchased something, and they always have been kind to me. Thank you so much, Fragrance BD, for this beautiful sample with this nice atomizer. So I did give some testing. I think I wore it from here to here, about like 2 wearings. Okay, so today I am just trying for a third time, and I actually forgot that I had it because I actually keep my glasses in boxes. So this was in one of the boxes of my glasses. Anyway, long story short, there's no bottle. These fragrances are kind of expensive for what they are. I mean, not for what they are expensive for small bottles. So you really need to test them before you want to blind buy. There's no such thing as blind buying a Rogue Perfumery fragrance, okay? So I have pre-sprayed this on the paper here. And this sample is a lot, actually. This can be full wear. I'm gonna perhaps rock this in upcoming winter if I'm still here. So I'm smelling this, and let me tell you what I get from this. I think this house and this particular perfume, not many reviewers would touch it, and I got the idea that Sebastian Zara is the one who would review a house like this on most part, and he would do this, like a unbiased review. If you see his reviews, he is the one who did most of the reviews from this house. Okay, so check out his review. So this one, it's at first when you smell it, like from the atomizer, without spraying, you'll be actually scared. This is kind of scary because it smells like, honestly speaking, there's something that's going to stink. Okay, stink means like not in a bad way, means it's going to be loud, and you would be putting it on and you'll be not sure if you can make this like a daily drive, office safe. This is the vibe it gives. But when you spray this, on skin, on paper, it opens up kind of sweeter compared to the other ones. And this fragrance is, let's just go one more spray. I actually enjoy the opening is, they have something sweet in it. So oh man, oh my god, it was partial open. Sorry about that. It could spill. Okay, just go one spray, because this is extremely potent. This could be, I don't want to put it on my shirt. This could be one full wearing, just one spray from the sample. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I can smell it. Okay, so I don't know what are the notes in there. I didn't check. I'm just going to tell you what I got from it. When I spray it for the first time, it is kind of animalic. It's kind of loud, but at the same time, there's some sort of sweetness that I also got from something like Mr. Burberry. Burberry's London. Okay, I love that fragrance. I have it somewhere here. Yeah, something in Burberry's London, which gives me the vibes of guava. Okay, and I'm not saying these are the same or this is a budget version of that. No such thing. I'm just saying that I got some sweetness, like some booziness or some sweetness of a port wine slash, let's say, guava. This one gives me that in the opening. And the thing is, it's actually quite nice. It's quite pleasant. You'll be like, okay, it's not that bad, But the thing is, the tricky thing about this fragrance, the sweetness will disappear within 15 minutes, and then it will start showing your natural oak moss, the shipra. And at that point, it is very, very, very mature fragrance. This is not for youngsters, okay? Not for teenagers. I'm not saying they cannot wear it, but I'm pretty sure people who wear Phantom, Dylan Blue, this is not for them. This is for the men. This is for the grown-up nose, even women over 40. This is literally like, you are walking through a forest, walking through greenery or open field, or approaching, towards somewhere is going to be near mountains and stuff. You smell all the natural earthy goodness, like something like a vetiver, oak moss, greenness. And then you get like, maybe it's very difficult to say. There was like a Shipra Siam or something they also made that was of more of a Shipra. But I would say this is more of a soapy, green, not vetiver, but oak moss vetiver, something in between. Like, it's literally like a green fragrance. But I really enjoy the opening. I wish the opening stayed for 1 hour. That would be lovely, because I would love to get that boozy, sweet, Burberry's London sort of a, guava feel. But it's kind of fruity in the opening. But this is where it ends after 15-20 minutes. Then it will start going to that green vibe. Okay, I would say this is a great fragrance to wear in fall. Okay, fall, winter, where you wear. Think of fragrances like, what's the fragrance? The tobacco fragrance. Man, I have it like, it's kind of waxy, got the hay and the booze, and then the honey. Oh man, let me get that bottle. You get some idea. Yeah, if I cannot show you the bottle, I cannot remember the name, I feel very uneasy, and then I'm not comfortable. I was talking about this one, Serge Luton's Shergi. This and this, I'm not saying nowhere anywhere near, but the nature, very nature of these two perfumes are kind of like those, um, dull days, cloudy days, muggy, I don't know what you call that, like, it rained, and in your ranch or whatever, it's like all muddy, it's wet, and then you smell some smoke after the rain. This would the day I would wear Shergi, because this is kind of like the thick, waxy tobacco, sweetness. But this I would also wear in the same, like, there are mature fragrances like this, Fougere Royal, or something like, was the other fragrance that I had. See, nowadays I cannot remember the names very well, but like basically Fougere, Barbershop, Shipra, Green, like these are the kind of type this fragrance falls into that category. It's absolutely regal. It's very, it got that, I don't know if it's called novelty. It has a charm, but it's kind of like reading an old book. Like, you really have to be in the mood to read a book. Sit with an old a novel or something. Just take your time, particular day, particular mood. This is not your typical phrase. This is like people who wear green Irish tweed. Sophisticated gentlemen, and you just dress up so well. This is that fragrance. Okay, so overall, I would say, Sebastian Zara was right. He was talking about Irish Spring soap. I can kind of see that, but it's more complex than just typical soapy like Mugler cologne. Okay, so I give you some examples so you get the idea. So this is a grown-up Irish Spring soap, natural green, feel. And the basic, I'll tell you one thing, funny thing, I noticed that they always use this house, Rogue Perfumery, always use this common DNA, that is that oak moss, and that makes the fragrance last. So if you want a performer, this is like performer like a Mega Mare, okay, or Mega Mare. So performance is not an issue, performance is 10. The natural vibe from this is 10, but the fragrance is very much, up to you for testing, sampling first before blind buying. If you can find a sample or a, discovery set, that would be great. But these little bottles can cost a lot of money, and some of them, they get discontinued, bit hard to find in the market, right? So Fragrance BD is the place where they sell their official, I think, authorized distributors, but I could be wrong, but they are carrying this perfume house, right? So overall, this perfume, it's very difficult to rate. I cannot look at my collection and say I have 10 other fragrances like this. Okay, so in terms of uniqueness, this is also 10, right? So he heads towards 10, but I would rate this fragrance overall at 8.5 out of 10 because of the complexity. So if you like this idea of this fragrance, you can try it. And I'm pretty sure people who are sophisticated, people who wear old school classics, okay, if you have that, like, let's say even SAR, from that house, or YSL's, was that fragrance, not Rive Gauche, but there was this other one. That one also was fresh green. So anyway, so YSL Jazz, Live Jazz, this is a perfume for you. Those are kind of synthetic, designer, affordable. This is a little bit more expensive but more premium. Okay, so check it out. This is once again Rogue Perfumery Absolue de Mousse. Okay, so thank you so much once again, Fragrance BD, for sending this my way. I have plenty of juice. As I said, I will try this in upcoming winter if I am still here. Have a nice day. Thanks for watching, and I will do the second review now, which is a Hugo Boss fragrance. Take care. Good night.